And at the beginning, honestly, it was a very hard thought for me that I wanted to save everybody, because I see that, oh, you don't do this well, maybe you should do something about it. And I learned the hard way that no, nobody can be saved if this person doesn't want to be saved.
Welcome back to another episode of the Succeed Against the Odds show. Today, as my guest, I have here with me Anita Papp. Welcome, Anita.
Thank you very much for having me here. I'm so excited.
I know I've had you in the show before, and we had some technical difficulties with your episode, so we're redoing this again. So it's kind of a good thing. Mm-hmm. So maybe we can go a little deeper than we did in the first one. So Anita, for our audience sake, can you please share with everyone what it is that you do?
What is it what I do? Yes. In one sentence, I can say that I help women to love and appreciate themselves more as a life coach. And I also call myself the self-love mentor. Okay, it was two sentences.
That's okay. So how did you get into this? What inspired you to become a life coach?
My life changes. It happened about 4 years ago, when everything started to change in my life. And we all know that people don't really like changes, right? We don't change unless it's really necessary. And sometimes the universe just whispers into your ear and later starts shouting. And in 2013, I felt that it's very loud and I need to do some changes. The whole thing started when my dad got sick and passed away 7 months later in cancer. After that, I was diagnosed with cancer, and until that point, I was working in admin, but I needed to find something to save myself, and this something was personal development. And I got so excited about it that I told everyone in my immediate environment what I discovered. And later, when I went back to the office to work as an office manager, I decided that no, I can't do this anymore. I really want to work with women to go through life changes and help them. And the main reason behind was this, that I discovered that I really didn't like myself. And I believe subconsciously, somehow I created my sickness. And because I came out of it, luckily, and I changed so much, I really wanted to share this information with others. So my wish for every woman to go through changes without getting themselves into danger, like a really hard sickness or life-threatening situation.
So walk me through this, because that was a lot of information in just a little minute there. Can you give us a little bit more details on, you were diagnosed with cancer, and how long did it take you before you started seeking the personal development, and how did that actually happen? Was it like, okay, I'm sick, I'm going to look for personal development? Was it something you saw that triggered your interest? What perked your interest and guided you there? I know it was a life-changing moment for you, obviously. Was there something else?
I got the diagnosis on a Friday morning. I went home and I cried for 2 days in my bed. And I don't know what happened, but at some point I felt that I got this for a reason. I need to do something with it. If I got it, it can't be an accident. And I started to talk to my friends about it, some of my friends. And one of them showed me a movie, and it was a Wayne Dyer movie that started to change everything for me. It was a switch that, oh, I got something here. I can work with it. I can create something great out of it. I don't know how, but it's much better than sitting and crying in the bed. So I started to listen to his lectures and Louise Hay lectures, and slowly it started to shift in me that it's a huge power. I create my own destiny with my own thoughts. So if I created my condition as I am right now with the cancer, maybe I can redo this if I change my thoughts. And it was such a huge deal for me. I got so excited about it, and I didn't care who said what. I went on this route because it felt really good. And I started to do things, affirmations, lots of affirmations every single day until I really wasn't faking it anymore that I can get better. I was getting better. Isn't it amazing that you can do these changes for
It
me?
is amazing.
Yeah.
It totally is. And I know because I've gone through a similar journey, not the cancer part, but where that major shift happened. So what I'm getting through all that, the trigger was actually the fact that first you were home crying, which would be the normal, I think, reaction for anyone with something, with that kind of news. But you sought out help. You started talking to your friends. So you chose not to just keep it all inside and say, leave me alone, nobody talk to me. You started to reach out, which is the first step to recognize, okay, I need help. I don't know where to get the help from, but I need help. And I don't know if that's what the thought was for you, but you definitely were reaching out because you needed that support.
Yes.
And that is so important. Now I know you have your practice, and I see you go on live streams, you go on Facebook, and you do videos. What would you say are the commonalities? I know you said you help women who don't love themselves or don't like themselves. What are the commonalities in addition to that with the clients that come to you? Is there anything else on top of that? Why don't they like themselves?
There are many reasons for that, in my opinion. First of all, we are women, so we were taught at a young age that we need to say yes to everyone, help everyone, and you don't really need to listen to your own needs, and always serve others, always help others. And by the time we got to the age of, let's say my age, I'm 46, we totally forgot that we are important too. We are doing everything for others, our family, our kids. And the kids are growing up and we are there. And now what? We need to do something because we forgot who we are. We forgot that we are important. We forgot that we have a huge responsibility, because if we are happy ourselves, everybody is going to be happier in our environment. We are creating these ripple effects by serving and loving ourselves first. And we were taught, or I was at least, when I was a young girl, that it's selfish. But no, it's not. Especially in European families. You are from Europe, you know what does that mean. That, okay, everybody's ahead of you. You are very low on your priority list. And I don't really like this. I want to change it. But I can't change it for everybody. Whoever comes to me needs to be ready for this change.
They have to want the change.
Yes.
So do you find, based on what you said, I'm getting that most of the people that come to you are over a certain age. You're not getting the young women in their 20s that are feeling that. That's more the women who have already put in so many years of giving, and now they're like, okay, I've been in the back burner for so long. My self-worth is, I don't feel like I'm worth anything. I don't know what my purpose in life is. What was the point of all of this? Do I matter at all? Like, right? So what are some of the things that you can suggest as a general? Because I know every person is different and everybody has their own personal journey, and we're not cookie cutters. So everybody has to, guide and go in a different path slightly. What is something that everyone who may be feeling that way right now, that they could do right now just to realize that they are worth, that they have way more worth than they think?
It is a very simple switch in your head. You need to come to the conclusion that now I'm doing it differently. If your life is okay, you feel good, you are happy, obviously you don't require change. But when you feel that you are empty inside and all these things that you just mentioned, you need to do a switch. And who can do this switch? Only you, nobody else. And it's a simple decision that, okay, from now on, I'm going to do something. Maybe I don't know how, but with this thought already you are going to look stronger, you stand taller, and it creates the first step. So you need to do this first step, as when I had the diagnosis that, okay, it's not good, so I need to switch something. It's not really conscious, but it can be conscious too. You can say, okay, that's enough, I'm doing something.
So 2 things I heard there. One is you make a decision, and the other one is you change your body language. You own it. You own the decision you make.
A lot.
Yeah. Oh, it's a huge part, right?
Yes.
Physiology.
Yes.
So let's just say, okay, well, Anita, that sounds so easy. I'll just change my mind, and now I'm going to decide, but still not really feel it on the inside. What is that process? And I know you have to go through the process with your clients, and like you said, it's a simple switch. However, for some people, there are some steps that need to happen before that switch can happen, and before you just go, this is really what I want. I really want to change this because I don't like where I'm at and I'm worth something. So I have the world. Something's going to give, right? Is there a way to prevent? I know I'm asking you 2 different questions here, but is there a way to prevent getting to the lowest point and then back again to what if you just don't believe it? You can tell yourself, okay, this is it, but you don't really believe it to your core. How do you go to that core?
All right, let me answer these questions. The first one, I don't think that we need to prevent to go rock bottom, because if we don't go down, how can we go up? And the second, or actually it was the first part of the question, the phases of this. I believe there are 3 phases. I'm pretty sure everyone heard this, you heard this too, for sure. Fake it until you make it. So at the beginning, you totally don't believe in yourself, you don't believe that you can make it, but you made a decision. So you are forcing it somehow. The next one is face it until you make it. And it means that you are really brutally honest with yourself. Where am I at this point of my life? And the third phase, when you have faith that I can do it. And it starts when the first little signs starting to show up that something is changing. And as you are shifting into this new mood and vibe and everything, it's going to be much easier. And actually this the second part, the face it until you make it, came from one of my clients. And I said, oh my God, you are brilliant. I never heard this, but it's so true. You need to face it and not lie to yourself anymore, because it's not helping.
So face it, acknowledge it, face it, and make yourself accountable to it.
Yes, you are responsible for your own life. Not your husband, not your partner, not the, childhood. Yes, we all have scars from childhood. Yes, and I totally understand that some people went through really hard traumas, but you need to deal with them. Because if you are over 40 or something, you don't really have time to waste any more time until you find yourself and be happy.
So this brings me to another question. For people who may not be very clear on what life coaching is, because there are a lot of people that are not clear on what life coaching really is. And you just talked about women who have had trauma in their life or things that have happened in their childhood. So how can you explain to our audience the difference between a counselor, going to a counselor versus going to a life coach? Why go to a life coach versus a counselor?
The biggest difference between the two is that psychologists and counselors, therapists, they are dealing with the past traumas, and they are helping you to get through these traumas. And this way, when the past is closed, you are able to create your own life, which is better than what you had when you had these problems with the past problems. And life coaching, we don't really focus on the past. Yes, sometimes we touch it a little bit, but I'm not trained to do anything with it. And if I see actually that there is a bigger problem, I always send my clients to a psychotherapist or psychologist, because they need to deal with the past first. And after that, we can focus on the now and the future. Life coaches are focusing on the now and creating changes in the now with some suggestions. We are creating a better future. And it's really important for me to tell my clients that I never tell anyone what to do. We talk about the situation, I might have some suggestions, but what I'm really doing with my clients, I make them stronger to make their own decisions, and they feel confident about their decisions, that okay, I'm a strong woman, I can do this, and I'm not doing this because somebody told me, I'm doing it because it feels really good, and that serves me well.
Love it. There you go. So if you were wondering what life coaching was about, now you know the difference. So do you offer life coaching only to women who feel their self-worth is not where it should be, or do you also help women in other areas?
There is this quote from Lucille Ball. She said that if you love yourself first, all the other parts in your life fall into place. I believe that this is a very, very important thing. I'm not offering, let's say, business coaching, but if you are really in a good relationship with yourself, other areas are going to improve in your life too. Business is going to be better because you are much clearer and you are not worried about your self-worth, or you are not doubting yourself as much. You are focusing on the right things. Mm-hmm. Your relationships are going to be better, and I'm talking about friendship, romantic relationship with your children. It's all very, very important. So I say that I create harmony, and I help them create harmony in their life, and this is going to improve other areas as well.
Love it. Of course, it creates the balance, and like you said, then it's much less thing to worry about that doesn't get in the way of the important things.
Yes.
So for the hardcore people that will say, it's all selfish.
Mm-hmm.
What do you say to them?
Self-love is selfish?
Yes.
Selfish?
Some people will say that when you focus on yourself, I'm not one of those people. Let's clarify
I know that.
But if you focus on loving yourself and making yourself better, it's all about you and not about the others. Can you share your point of view on that to those people who will say life coaching is for selfish people?
These people are never going to come to me. They are never going to check out any of my videos. They are not even interested. I had somebody who told to me when I started 2 years ago that I don't want any strangers to tell me what to do. And I told him, then probably you are not my client. But on the other side, I never tell my client what to do. And he is not my client, obviously, and I'm not for everybody, that's for sure. And at the beginning, honestly, it was a very hard thought for me that I wanted to save everybody, because I see that, oh, you don't do this well, maybe you should do something about it. And I learned the hard way that no, nobody can be saved if this person doesn't want to be saved.
Exactly. So you said something, you don't tell your clients what to do, which is a very key point in coaching that I think is one of the most misunderstood things about coaching, especially when it comes to business coaching. And I know that is not what you focus on, but I think it's important to bring it up just because coaching is coaching, and pure coaching like you do is more about triggering the mind to get the mind thinking in a certain way versus telling the person what to do. So just to clarify, coaching does not tell you what to do, does not give you advice. Like you said, sometimes you make suggestions, but it's not actual hardcore, this is what you must do. So, and that's where then you make the decisions as the client. Right? And you feel better about it because then it's your own decision. They can't come back to you and say, you told me to do this.
Yes.
You're responsible for your own decisions. Have you had a lot of coaches yourself?
Yes. I am working right now with a life coach too, and she's providing me excellent tools that I can use in my own life, and I learned a lot from her actually. And I don't know if you heard that, but they used to say that never trust a coach who doesn't have their own life coach.
Yes.
And it's true, I think, because we all need to learn, and we are on different levels, and we need to improve all the time. I thought at the beginning that, okay, I'll get this certificate and I'm going to be fine. No, I know by now I'm never going to be done with the learning. It's a lifelong process, and I'm getting better and better. And I'm learning more and more tools for myself, and I can offer this to my clients too.
And that's a sign of a great coach, one that continues learning, because a coach that's not training and doesn't have a life coach, you don't want, because then they become know-it-alls, and yeah, it's kind of a dead end. You want growing people, and as long as we're alive, we need to grow, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and we can't grow if we don't learn. So there you go.
I think Tony Robbins said that the moment you start growing, you start dying.
Exactly.
And it's true. Maybe I'm still alive for another 50 years, but if I don't do anything for personal improvement,
your inner will die anyway,
yes,
right?
Yes.
Your body must still live, but your inner and your drive.
And there is actually another quote that really comes here from Wayne Dyer. He said that don't live for 75 years, every single year the same way, and call it a life. Yes, we need to be adventurous. We need to do things for ourselves. And I believe that in the first 40 years, I repeated my years over and over again. And I didn't do too much, except that I moved here from Hungary, but it was just 1 year, right? And after that, we kind of playing for survival. But life is so much more than just survive.
What would you say to women who are coming to you as clients who may have children, let's say daughters,
Yes.
and now they're young? So they're coming to you for their own self-worth. Do you get involved at all on how they can help their daughters? I know they will do it by example, but what would you say? Do you have daughters?
I do.
You do. So, yeah, what advice can a woman give to her younger daughter so that she never feels less worthy of what she really is?
I use it actually as a tool to every single client who have children, because children learn by imitating what we do, and no matter what you say, if you are not doing what you say, they are learning the wrong way. And recently just came up in my Facebook group that people have problems saying no lots of time, and it comes with not having boundaries. And one of my friend, she commented that I'm having so much trouble with this, and I told her, you know what, you need to learn this because you have 2 young daughters and they are going to learn this from you. So if you don't do it for yourself, do it for them. And yes, I have 2 daughters, Kinga, who is 22, and Noemi, who is 19. And if I look back to my life and how I was a mom earlier, I made lots of mistakes, and unfortunately I can't go back in time, but now I can say that our relationship is really, really good and changed because I changed. And you need to do it not just for yourself. If you have kids, you do it for them too. It's very, very important in my opinion. And I feel that our generation is the one who now very, very conscious about this. And if we change it, not just our life is going to be better, but the next generation's life as well. And we are doing a huge favor if we learn how to love ourselves. And this is what we are giving away.
And even if we don't have kids, we can still influence the younger generation anyway. I'm in the opinion, I want to go out kicking and screaming when I go, the day that I go. I'm in the opinion that the older we get, the more responsibility we have to set a good example and being role models for our future generation, whether it is our own children or not.
Yes.
Like I selfishly, this will be the selfish me, I want the young generation to look at me and say, I want to be like her when I get old.
Yes, absolutely.
You know, I don't want to go, I don't want to get old because I don't want to be like her. And because I remember growing up as a child and as a teen, looking at the older women who had given up in life.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I don't want to be old because I don't want to be like that. It's like life is over before they're dead. And since personal development, thankfully, I've done a lot of that too, and my whole mind has shifted as well. And it really pains me when I hear older women say, "Oh, I'm too old now. We'll just let the new generation do their thing." And I'm like, no. So I'm so happy the way you're approaching the coaching and how you're telling your clients that if they're not doing it for themselves, at least they have to do it for their children and being role models. So Anita, if our audience wants to get a hold of you and get in touch with you, I know you can coach from anywhere in the world. So as long as you speak English and Hungarian, how many other languages do you speak?
I learned 3 more, but I speak only these 2.
Okay, so you do your coaching in both languages? You can do it in both languages?
Honestly, I'd rather do it in English because everything that I learned about personal development was in English, and sometimes when I talk with Hungarian people about this, I can find words.
I get it.
I'd rather do it in English.
I get it. Being Italian is the same thing. I have a harder time doing my work in my own native language. I don't know why, because I did most of my training in English, so there you go. So it's all in English, so as long as you can speak English, Anita can help you.
Yes.
So what's the best way to reach you? You have a website?
I do have a website. I also have a Facebook page, Anita Papp Life Coaching, simple.
Check the links.
And I have a Facebook group, and I'm really proud of it. It's called Love Yourself First, and there are almost 400 members in it from 55 countries from all over the world.
Wow.
And this proved me that the need for self-love is universal. No matter where you live, you need to, or you have to learn how to love yourselves. So these are the main pages where I can be reached. I have Instagram too.
Awesome. So check out the links so you can catch Anita. So you do your coaching all one-on-one? Do you have group coaching, or is it all one-on-one?
I'm thinking about group coaching, but so far I'm working with clients one-on-one. Yes.
Okay, great. Is there anything else you would like our audience to know about you, or about what you do, or want to leave them with the thought?
It's a really hard question because I'm an introvert, and it's really hard to talk about myself.
Well, you've done great.
I know, but what else can I say that serves my audience? Yes, every single post that I put up there, every single video, there is a purpose behind it to serve my audience with a thought, with an idea, with an inspiration. I really love to inspire people, and the best thing that I can get is a comment that, you know what, you changed my life. And maybe it's a very simple thought that I put up there, but this person needed to hear that thought on that day, and this is amazing.
So in the Facebook group, can anybody join the Facebook group?
Yes.
So it's a free, they don't have to be in a program.
Group. Yes. I just ask 2 questions, why they want to be in the group, and the main purpose of this group to provide support for each other and inspire each other and create a real community on Facebook. And so far it's working beautifully. I love it.
Fantastic. So there you go. You can subscribe to join the group and get lots of inspiration and insights from Anita.
Yes.
It's been wonderful. One last question.
Yes.
When you were little, what did you want to do when you grew up?
I wanted to be a teacher and I wanted to be an actress, but I didn't. I'm here and I feel somehow I still became a teacher. I teach others for these important stuff. And I'm acting partially because I'm creating so many videos and I'm acting in these videos. So somehow I fulfilled my childhood dreams, I believe.
I think you have. It was funny because my parents are visiting right now from Italy.
Yes.
And I was trying to translate the word life coach. And I couldn't think of, I don't know what life coaching is in Italy. So I looked it up. And the translation is teacher of life.
Oh, I love this.
So I thought, really, teacher of life? That is so cool. So there you go. So you are teaching, you're doing exactly, maybe not in the capacity that you thought you would be doing, but you are a teacher after all. So
life is working in mysterious ways.
It certainly does. It certainly does.
We just have to let it happen.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for your insights.
Thank you for
sharing your story and little tips. And I know I was picking your brain there for a while, but I hope it's all right. And check out Anita's links and reach out, join the group. And thank you so much for being here.
Thank you very much for having me.
It was great.